Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Haley is off this evening. Our top story, Hurricane Irma, the Category 4 storm, has left catastrophic damage in the Caribbean. Take a look at some of the destruction on one of the islands, St. Martin. You can see homes are splintered, trees down, buildings destroyed. As the monster storm continues to churn towards South Florida, people across the state are scrambling to evacuate or stock up on supplies and shore up their homes. More than 1 million Floridians ordered to evacuate ahead of Hurricane Irma. Let's get now to the first alert weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with the new track and a new warning. Bob?
Yeah, it's not the best for us here on the west coast of Florida. We are now under a hurricane warning. And it goes all the way up to Anna Maria Island. It will be extended throughout the evening update. What's happened with Irma, it continues to head off toward the west now at 12. Now, there's a chance it could get into Cuba and disrupt its flow, but right now it's looking less likely as we are expecting to turn more to the northwest over the next several hours, and the winds remain just on the verge of Category 5. All it would take would be a bump of 5 miles an hour, and this would be a Category 5 hurricane at this point. The pressure is at 925 millibars, which is extremely low. Now, this is the new forecast track, and one thing you'll note, a little bit of a bump again toward the west, and the East Coast getting a little bit more relief in terms of where that cone of uncertainty is. It still can occur with anywhere inside of that cone as far as the center goes, but you don't necessarily have to be in the cone. We all are here in Florida, but to get the rough weather. This is just where the center is going to pass, and right now it looks very damaging for Marco Island up through Naples and into Fort Myers at this point. It's a little south, obviously, of Fort Myers, but with each run, this has shifted a little bit to the left each time. So Fort Myers, there's a possibility they could deal with a landfalling Category 4 hurricane at this point. Still has time to run a little bit further off to the west before it does so. By the time it reaches us, if it were a 4 here, it would more than likely be a Category 2, and you'll notice now that center line has moved and shifted away from Highlands County into Hardee and DeSoto counties now. And with this in mind, a 4 here would mean translate more than likely into a 2 there. And what a 2 is 110 miles an hour on the high end. And if it gets closer, obviously we're going to have stronger winds here in Sarasota and Manatee counties as well. So I would expect at least a Category 1 hurricane wind here along Sarasota and Manatee counties with gusts as high as Category 2 in this scenario. But again, if it pushes off further to the west, that will have to change as we move through time. Now, this is a hurricane watch. It says it anyway, but the computers are not catching up right now. This comes from the National Hurricane Center. This indeed has changed now to a warning all the way up to Anna Maria, and there's a watch now that extends further up along the coast of Florida there. This is going to be a very, very significant storm for Florida in that we are going to see a tremendous amount of power outages. I think the entire peninsula will be without power, and with that in mind, it's going to take a long time for crews to get us back online. You'll see Sunday and into Monday, we have a high chance of power outages all throughout Central Florida, and even moderate chances for Manatee and Sarasota counties. This may change a little bit and go to high, but right now the highest probability of power outages, and it will be severe all throughout South Florida, Miami, West Palm, Palm Beach, and Fort Lauderdale. I want to show you this one last graphic. This is the radius, talking about how big a storm is. Now, you'll see this red go away. That's the hurricane force winds because it only projects out a couple of days. But as we move through time, you'll notice those tropical storm force winds will be all over the top of us then on Sunday. The higher end will be coming right around noon. And then this is the 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, the area in orange. This is at noon on Sunday. We'll put that through time now. It's 8 o'clock and we're still in them. So, and there'll be some hurricane force winds in the mix here, especially if on this track it will catch on into Hardee and DeSoto counties. Eventually, the tropical storm force winds will go away as the sun comes up on Monday. We'll have much more in this forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Manatee County Public Safety upgraded voluntary evacuations to mandatory after watching the storm model shift towards the west. As we saw, residents in flood zone A or mobile home parks are being asked to leave and stay with a friend, family, or at one of the public shelters that are now open. ABC 7's Adam Cellini joins us live from the Emergency Operations Center in downtown Bradenton with more on what's available right now for residents who are leaving their homes. Adam?
Yeah, Scott, the Manatee County has opened 22 of its 24 possible shelters throughout the day today, but residents are still being asked to use these public shelters only as a last resort. Stay with friends and family if possible. Anyone on the islands, however, is being asked to leave their homes. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office saying that all westbound traffic across the bridges to Anna Maria Island will be stopped by 6 p.m. on Saturday. Braden River High School was one of the first shelters to open today around around noon, and they also are pet friendly, so a very popular spot. We checked in with them around 4:30, and they already had close to 300 people signed up to stay overnight. And one important note, none of the shelters in Manatee County are taking reservations. If you show up to sign up, you must be ready to stay there overnight. You can't leave and go home. You have to be ready to stay in these shelters overnight. We spoke with a few residents over at Braden River High School who were checking in earlier this afternoon.
I feel secure with the shelter, actually. It looks very structurally sound for, like they said, a Category 5.
Get out, get out, get out. Don't wait.
Oh, I'm still worried. That's why we're here, because I'm not riding it out. I'm going to be here at the shelter. I feel a lot safer.
Now, the emergency operations staff here couldn't really guess whether other flood zones would be close to evacuations or are close to evacuations, but they're advising all residents, regardless of your flood zone, be ready to move at a moment's notice if necessary. So be packed up, be prepared like we've been saying all week, and yeah, be ready to leave your home if necessary. For now, live in downtown Bradenton, I'm Adam Cellini. Scott, back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. Sarasota County also issuing mandatory evacuation orders for those living in the evacuation zone A. That includes barrier islands, mobile homes, and RV parks. And more mandatory evacuation orders could be on the way. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from Emergency Operations Center with the very latest on those evacuation orders. Jess?
Good evening, Scott. This behind me is the Sarasota County evacuation zone. So the areas that you see in red, that is Zone A, and the area that is now under a mandatory evacuation. So it starts down south at Manasota Key, Casey Key, all the way up to Longboat Key. Those areas are all under evacuation orders. Then there's a little bit more of the red shaded area over in the Northport and the City of Venice area. So all of those areas are evacuating. Now you can see the color orange on this map. That is Zone B. Now they are not out of the woods yet. However, the county is not expecting to have to evacuate them. They are monitoring this storm closely to be sure. Now, those in Zone A do not need to evacuate immediately. They have until 8 p.m. tomorrow. It's the projected storm surge and hurricane winds that are prompting these mandatory evacuations. First responders are not able to respond to emergency situations when winds are stronger than 45 miles an hour because of safety and the size of their trucks. Now, all Sarasota County beaches are now closed. No one is allowed in the waters or on the beaches. And hotels on the barrier islands and in that evacuation A zone are all shutting down.
We've called every hotel, 69 hotels, and I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I know that 17 hotels, I believe, closed. The other ones are going to be notified. There's about almost 1,600 people from the hotels that reported to us that are in hotel rooms on the barrier island areas. That is why we opened additional shelters so that we can take that load of people.
Now, as far as closings are concerned, county libraries and parks will be closed on Saturday and Sunday. SCAT, the public transit system, will be open all day tomorrow until 6 p.m. and the fares, there will be no fares. People will be able to ride the bus for free so that they can get to any shelters or anywhere that they need to go. It will close down at 6 o'clock tomorrow and then be closed all day on Sunday. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. Coming up later in this newscast, which shelters are now open here on the Suncoast. But now many stores will be closing early because of the storm. Some big ones to note are Walmart and Publix. Walmart will be closing tonight at 10 o'clock in Sarasota and Manatee counties before the storm. All Publixes in Sarasota and Venice will close tonight at 8 o'clock. There are some exceptions. The Publix on University Parkway and Publix stores in Bradenton will remain open until tomorrow night at 8 p.m. All Walgreens across the state closed late this afternoon and will reopen Monday at 10 a.m. Now, if you're looking to pick up some emergency cash, Bank of America and Wells Fargo branches are already closed and will remain closed until Monday at the earliest. If you need to make some bank transactions, you're encouraged to use your bank's app for that. Now, for a list of closures and cancellations, you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com. We have a complete list that continues to grow. Taking a look right now at our traffic in the area. So many people across the state are trying to evacuate and get out of Hurricane Irma's path. But as you might expect, it is a little slow going at a little stretch there of I-75 heading north. That's from Clark Road to Fruitville Road. But it is green beyond that point So likely will pick up, though, as people get off of work this afternoon. Now, as evacuees hit I-75 and other routes heading north, they'll need gas to keep going. But it is getting harder and harder to find gas stations that have it. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley joins us now live from I-75 with how traffic is moving there now. Christopher?
Good afternoon, Scott. As you can see, I-75, and as you were saying, it's starting to slow down quite a bit. It's gone through these spurts the last half hour or so that I've been out here. It'll be completely stopped for a few minutes, then it'll pick up again. Right now, starting to move along for quite a bit. Of course, thousands of people and thousands of cars are all hitting the road to get out ahead of this storm, this being the main evacuation route. And today, gas was a seriously hot commodity. We had to go to 5 different stations before we could find any. The racetrack on Fruitville had gas as of late this afternoon, although many of their pumps were being closed off. There is an app Florida Governor Rick Scott is touting. It's called Gas Buddy. It lets you search for real-time gas stations to see who has any. Governor Scott says that can be a big help to drivers before they get off and exit, only to find there's no gas. Even those who are staying are rushing to top off their tanks.
There may not be electricity for these pumps when after the storm's gone.
We got gas about 3 days ago, but we're just going to top off a little bit.
And as you can see, again, I-75 really starting to slow down quite a bit. Of course, it is Friday afternoon in the 5 o'clock hour, so a lot of people would be getting off work at this hour anyway. Add that to all the volume of people coming up from South Florida. This, of course, is the main evacuation route for all of South Florida, so we can expect to see some serious traffic jams as the night goes on. Live in Sarasota, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Christopher, thank you so much. Let me just add something to Christopher's report. You heard one person say that there will be no electricity to run the pumps. All gas stations now have generators to keep those pumps going, even if there's no power. The issue could be, though, supply. We may not have the gas available. Now, as people decide to evacuate, the gas supply is a big problem across the state. Governor Rick Scott telling Floridians to download that Gas Buddy app. You heard Christopher talk about that to find which gas stations do still have gas. Make sure to fill up your tank before you leave and anticipate traffic. Allow a lot more time than normal to reach your destination. And once you reach a quarter tank full, start looking for gas stations to fill up. If you run out of gas or become stranded on the road, you can call Star FHP for help. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, hospitals on the Suncoast bracing for Irma's impact. What both Sarasota Memorial and Manatee Memorial are doing now to keep patients out of harm's way. And we'll get back to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. He'll have the first alert forecast, the latest details on Irma and that new hurricane warning for the Suncoast. And more than 24 shelters open across the Suncoast. What you need to know before you go. Stay with us.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Emergency shelters are open this afternoon across the Suncoast now. Booker High School in Sarasota County, one of those shelters open. ABC 7's Rick Adams joins us now live from Booker with how things are going there. Rick?
Yes, Scott, the shelter opened up just a short while ago, and as you can see, it's already very busy. It's one of 4 that are open here in Sarasota County, and many more are expected to open as well as they need it. Organizers are just trying to make this as safe and comfortable for everybody, of course. The shelters are available for those who need it right at the moment.
This is actually a new adventure for me. But it is giving me an appreciation for people who do have to go through this. We were on vacation at a resort.
Right now we're in the business of operating shelters. So a different role here in our community is making sure that everyone is safe and secure. Survival is our number one objective, is just making sure that people survive the storm.
And Manatee County does have many shelters open as well. For a complete list of evacuation shelters here in Sarasota County as well as Manatee County, you can log on to our website at mysuncoast.com. In the meantime, reporting live from Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams. Scott, back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you so much. 4 shelters now open in Sarasota County and 22 in Manatee County. Now, during the storm, Sarasota Memorial's main hospital, ER and Trauma Center in Sarasota, and its freestanding ER in Northport will be operating 24 hours a day with a full staff. However, SMH's St. Armand's Urgent Care closed at 2 o'clock today. It will remain closed Saturday and Sunday. Other SMH Urgent Care centers will close at 4 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday, and will remain closed on Sunday. The outpatient lab, radiology, and rehab services at all SMH outpatient centers will be closed Monday, as will First Physician Group offices. SMH is postponing all non-urgent elective surgeries throughout the weekend and on Monday. Now, as for Manatee Memorial Hospital, the hospital is in Zone A. It's right along the Manatee River, as you know, which is under a mandatory evacuation order. The hospital is working to evacuate all 206 patients there. Most will be moved to Lakewood Ranch Medical Center. The emergency room is expected to close by 7 o'clock tonight, and then the hospital will close down tomorrow by 7 p.m. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan back with us. Everyone getting ready for this storm, and it's becoming more and more clear that we really do need to prepare.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you haven't done so already, do it now. The warning's been issued. This is when you're supposed to put your plan of action into play now. So, your piece in there. We are looking at this storm, and it's still shifting west, Scott, and it's moving to the west at 10, so it's slowed its forward speed. And now it doesn't appear that it's going to have too much interaction with Cuba. So there's a chance it could bounce back up to a Category 5 very easily. And it looks like it's going to do that and then head off toward just south of Fort Myers. We showed you this at the top of the news. I'm going to show it to you again. You may have missed it. This is the new track from the National Hurricane Center, which puts these out. These big advisories come at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Then again, a new one will come out at 11 o'clock. Top winds remain at 155. It would take just an increase in 1 mile an hour to make it a Category 5 right now. There is some shear later on in the picture here that's going to knock it down, and also the interaction with land. But currently, it doesn't seem like anything's in its way to really stop it, with the exception of Cuba. And although the European model takes it into Cuba, the National Hurricane Center is thinking that may not happen. It's moving to the west. It's slowing down a little bit. That means it's at the end of the periphery of this high pressure ridge. Eventually, it's going to get slower and slower and slower, and then it's going to make that break. Where it makes the break will be the big factor as to where it's going to make landfall in Florida. It looks like that is a certainty down the road. We'll take a look at it now. A Category 4 on the verge of a 5, coming back to a 5 with 160, 2 a.m. on Sunday, and then making landfall somewhere again over South Florida near Key West, very close to Key West, with the rough weather still piling on into southeast Florida, into Miami-Dade. So although the cone is shifting left, there's still going to be a lot of problems along the east coast of Florida, all up and down it with storm surge and heavy winds. Now you can see all the cones now, or at least the forecast paths and tracks, are shifting off to the west, and the Hurricane Center is in agreement with that. This is the Navy model way out here in the Gulf, and it looks like it's not going to do that, but we'll keep an eye on that. We have another major storm behind it, going to hit the same area, by the way, that Irma has moved on through. Jose, an intense hurricane itself, going to cause all problems there. This is the GFS model. We'll get another one here coming up after 8 o'clock tonight, and you'll see the motion and movement. It stays just along the Cuban coast, and then we'll move up right into our area on into, it looks like Sunday, late Sunday night. As expected, hurricane force winds will be a real possibility here, especially inland counties, and you'll notice the shift has been from right to left here, or east to west. Earlier today at 11 o'clock, they had the line going through Highlands County, now the line through Hardee and DeSoto County. Let's hope it doesn't keep going on into Sarasota and Manatee counties at this point, but there's a chance it could. So don't focus on that center line so much, or this particular model, because they can still jump around just a little bit. A difference of 20 miles can make a huge difference in the amount of storm surge and in the amount of winds you'll get. This is the European. It does interact with Cuba, according to it, and then moves right there near Key West, and then up the coast, and then right on into Central Florida. Power outages across the entire peninsula, likely with the European model on that case. Everything should be over for us just after sunrise on Monday. This has changed. It hasn't been ingested yet into the computer systems, but then now we are under a hurricane warning from the National Hurricane Center all the way up to Anna Maria Island. That is a hurricane warning, and that includes Manatee, Sarasota, Hardee, DeSoto, and Highlands County in our viewing area. So a hurricane warning means expect hurricane force conditions, winds in excess of 75 miles an hour over the next 48 hours. And specifically, here's when we expect to see those winds. They'll start to approach, move up. This is the core of the high tropical storm force winds, the orange. The red goes away because it doesn't project out more than 48 hours, but you just kind of envision that right there moving through, and then right through our area. In fact, Sarasota, Manatee, Hardee, DeSoto will all experience hurricane force wind gusts at least, and possibly a Category 2. So if this makes landfall as a 4, I suspect it will be a Category 2 with winds at 96 to up to 110 miles an hour. And that will cause some significant trees down, power outages, and no significant with a Category 2 structural damage, but trees falling on buildings obviously will cause structural damage. We'll get more on this storm in just a little bit. I want to give you the 7-day real quick, and then we'll get back on the storm. So 40% chance for scattered storms tomorrow, Saturday. It'll start to deteriorate, by the way, Saturday evening, Saturday night, and into Sunday morning. Showers and storms, some winds picking up to tropical storm force by noon, and then the heavy weather Sunday night and early Monday morning. Scott?
Okay, Bob, thank you. If you own a boat, very important to make sure it's properly secured for Irma. If you have a small boat or power boat, your best option may be to haul it out of the water. If you have a garage, you could store it there. But if you decide to leave your boat in the water, make sure it is moored with multiple long, oversized lines and then tied off correctly so it doesn't drift away or crash into nearby boats. Coming up, Mexico rocked by an earthquake. A look at the damage from an incredibly strong tremor. Plus, last-minute preps here on the Sun Coast. What stores still have some essential supplies and which ones are running out? Stay with us.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile, and in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Download yours today.
C block first. Sorry about that. Check out this satellite picture that shows 3 hurricanes in the Atlantic. You can see Hurricane Katia near Mexico, Hurricane Irma in north of Cuba, and Hurricane Jose is near the Leeward Islands. All of them are Cat 3 or higher at the same time. And it's the first time since 2010 that 3 active hurricanes have been in the Atlantic region. Pretty incredible. Now to another natural disaster. At least 58 people are dead after a massive earthquake in Mexico. Mexico's president is calling it the largest quake to hit the country in a century. It was an 8.1 magnitude quake. It happened near the Guatemalan border. People 600 miles away from the epicenter were shaken out of their beds. Hundreds of buildings collapsed or were damaged, and almost 2 million people are without power. Authorities are still assessing the damage. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the mass exodus with Hurricane Irma barreling towards Florida now. The highways remain jammed and moving slowly. Airlines are also canceling flights. We'll look at the evacuation nightmare straight ahead.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
WWSB ABC 7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC 7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.